We begin standing in mountain pose, rotating the hands forward, pulling the toes off the mat to engage the calves, kneecaps, thighs, glutes, core, and release the toes down. We'll begin to come into twist, letting the arms flop side to side, adding the rotation of your feet into the twist, opening your stance wider and allowing the hips to fully rotate side to side. This is a Tai Chi movement to begin loosening the spine, good for stimulating the kidneys when you allow your arms to smack your back. And we breathe. Matching the breath with the motion, if you like. If you want to go deeper, continue twisting and sink into a wide squat while we twist and breathe. Slowly coming to a halt and then back into standing, activate the whole body by jumping and raising the arms overhead as you jump. Find your rhythm. With each pulse of your heels to the ground, we start to increase circulation, breath, and heart rate, move synovial fluid, the lubrication in the joints, and activate the lymphatic system. It's like your body's natural sewage system detoxing anything the body no longer needs. We'll be giving particular attention, which we'll pay particular attention to in this flow, as it's the natural sewage system in the body and supports healthy immune function. With a big exhale, we'll release the jumping, coming low to the ground, beginning to scoop the hands up towards the sky, inhaling, coming to the toes, and dropping. Exhaling back down to the ground, where we'll repeat several times. Inhaling and scooping the arms up in this Tai Chi energy cultivation movement, activating your balance at the top of the breath before you let it go again, dropping the arms and repeating. Inhale, rise up to the tiptoes, hold it. Exhale, drop. Inhale, rise up to the tiptoes. Exhale and drop. Once more. Inhaling, rising up to the tiptoes. Hold for a moment. Exhale and drop. Reaching for the feet. Begin smacking your way up the body, front and back, increasing circulation to the skin, working your way towards the hips, backside, tummy, up to the chest, shoulders, working down the elbows, forearms, wrists, and end with a little applause for yourself. When you're complete, we'll make our way to a comfortable seated position, adding props to support yourself to be comfortable, as we'll be here for a while, though feel free to change your seated position at any time. If you like, you can take your hands to your knees and come into your breath, taking a moment to come to your center. Focus on lifting up through the spine and the top of your crown, straight up. Take one hand to the belly and one hand to the heart as we breathe here, feeling the rise and the fall of the chest, feeling the weight of our bodies on the earth, noticing the smells and the sounds around us, the way the skin feels against the air and against our clothing. Maybe taking a moment to set an intention for our flow here as we breathe. Feeling the rise and the fall of the chest here. Make a few adjustments as we transition to self-massage, starting at the feet. We'll be covering acupressure points that are good for calming the nervous system And we'll focus on gentle palpation all over the body that not only feels good, but offers benefits like increased blood flow and stimulation of the lymphatic system. We'll start with liver 3, located at the junction of your second and third toe tarsals of both feet. You might feel a release or a bit of a zing as you pinch down on this point as deeply or as gently as feels good. Maybe adding pulsing if that feels good. And we'll rest and breathe here for a moment, pressing into both of our feet. As we breathe here, we release that point and begin to walk our fingers all over the sole of the foot. This can be as deeply or as gently as you like. Pressing into all of the toes, exploring the balls of the feet and the arches of the feet with your fingertips, pressing in. Maybe crossing the area of the sole of the foot in rows, going up and down. Pressing into the heel of the foot. Then gently pressing into the top of the foot to stimulate the lymph tissue there. Switching to the other foot, exploring this part of your body with your fingertips, pressing in as deeply as you like. Again, across the heel, the arches, the ball of the foot. Maybe taking rows up and down the foot, covering the whole sole. Remembering to breathe here as we care for this part of our body. Pressing into each toe and then onto the top of the foot to stimulate the lymph tissue there. From there, begin to move upward into the ankles, circling around the ankle bone. And then maybe come into one leg, massaging underneath in the calf muscle. Towards the knee. And then take the fingers along the shin bone, going up and down. Massaging and exploring this part of your body. Before we switch to the other leg, taking the fingers underneath into the calf muscle, up towards the knee. And then taking the fingers, pressing along the shin bone from knee to ankle. Coming up to the knees, grabbing the tops of the thighs, the bottoms of the thighs, making sure to squeeze the inner and outer parts of the thighs, exploring this part of your body and breathing. working your way towards the hips, getting the backside and low back, and wrapping around to the tummy. Starting clockwise from the left hip, we'll palpate into and across the abdomen in a circular motion along the outside edge of the abdominal cavity. This clockwise motion goes in the same direction as your digestive tract and allows for deep stimulation of the lymphatic tissue, which is very dense in the stomach. You'll begin to work your way up just underneath the edge of the rib cage, continuing your clockwise circling, pressing in as deeply or as shallowly as you like, and breathing. As you continue to circle, you'll start to close in, make smaller circles, going towards the belly button. Noticing any tender areas as you explore this part of your body. And we breathe. Wrapping up this motion and this massage, we'll just place our hands on the abdomen, giving a little bit of love to that space before we transition into the lower edge of the rib cage, pressing gently into the intercostal muscles between the ribs, working your way across the front, sides, and back of the rib cage. Exploring and breathing here. We'll gently hook our fingers underneath the edge of the rib cage and take a few breaths, tugging gently on the rib cage to open on the inhale and pressing it closed on the exhale. Inhaling open and exhaling closed, moving with the breath. We'll begin to work into the breast tissue, using our palms or fingers as gently or as deeply as you like, covering all of the surface area and working your way towards the underarms. Both of these areas contain a lot of lymphatic tissue, so you can use a gentle stroke towards the heart to aid in drainage. And we breathe as we explore these areas. Be sure to switch to the other side. Use a gentle stroking motion in the underarm area and the bottom of the arm, stroking towards the heart to aid in lymphatic drainage on this side as well. We can then wrap our arms around ourselves to squeeze the shoulders, working our way down towards the elbows. And then down towards the forearms. And towards the wrists. When we get to the palms, we'll pause at an acupressure point at the base of the webbing between the thumb and the forefinger, known for relieving headache pain and regulating the nervous system. We'll hold here for a moment, pulsing into this point as deeply or as gently as feels good, and we breathe. And then finding this pressure point on the opposite hand at the webbing between the forefinger and thumb. Pulsing here and holding as we breathe and balance the body. Go ahead and release, and we'll come back to the hand that you began on and pay some attention to the hands pressing across the whole palm and into each finger all the way to the fingertips. Give a little bit of attention to the back of the hand before we find our next acupressure point, the inner gate, located 3 finger widths towards your elbow from your wrist crease, directly center between the tendons. You should feel a little bit of a zing, and maybe as you hold and breathe into it, a wave of gentle release, and possibly digestive movement, as it is related to the digestive system, and to the heart, as it is the beginning of the pericardium meridian. The longer that you sit with this point, the better you may notice that you feel, and the deeper the breaths that you may take. This is a acupressure point specifically known for helping to regulate the nervous system and bring about a sense of peacefulness. We'll release and switch to the other hand, pressing across the palm and into each finger from base to tip. And across the back of the hand. And we'll again find our wrist point, using 3 finger widths to find where to press or pulse as we breathe. Maybe taking your eyes closed on this side as you drop into whatever comes up as you press this acupressure point. Release and clasp the hands in one last squeeze, and then make your way back up the arms toward the shoulders. This is where we'll uncross our arms and find the thick muscle across the top of our shoulders connecting to the neck, and pinch in the center, finding yet another acupressure hold, good for relaxing the nervous system. You can pulse here or just hold at whatever depth you prefer as you give yourself this massage, and we breathe. Go ahead and release. We'll press our fingers into the area just under the collarbone, down the sternum, activating this space directly over our lungs. From midway down the rib cage, gently press upwards towards the collarbone, gently draining the lymph up the neck and up into the throat area, working under the chin towards the jawbone. Going slowly and gently. Once you pass over the jawbone, you can continue up towards the cheekbones, very gently. And then pressing over the eyes into the brow bone and up the forehead into your hairline. Taking your pointer fingers next to your nostrils about 2 finger widths from the nose, pressing into the sinuses. Breathing here for a moment to release them. Then we'll take the thumb into the inner ridges of the eyebrow, just under the ridge, another sinus releasing point, holding and breathing here. We'll then take our pointer fingers to the outer edges of our eyes, using that point to go straight into your hairline to the temple points, circling and pressing here, opening and closing the jaw to release it, and to regulate the nervous system and help alleviate tension headaches. This part of your musculature is related to the jaw as well, so if you suffer from TMJ, this is a great space to come back to regularly. Then we'll press our way down to the jaw, just in front of the ear, working our way to the jawline, and then inwards towards the chin, letting the face be loose as you tug along the jawbone. Breathing here, and eventually pressing back outwards, ending up under the ears. Tug the earlobes away from the center, working your way up the outer edge of the ears, hitting many acupressure points along the way, and exploring the insides of your ears if you'd like. Releasing, we'll next take an open palm to the back of the neck, grabbing and tugging gently outward in what I like to call the feline hold, in this deeply self-soothing massage. And we breathe, resting into this gentle hold. We'll then take our fingers to follow the crest at the base of the skull, the occiput, directly back to center, pressing here at the junction of your skull and spine, a deeply soothing nervous system acupressure point. And then use your fingertips to cover your whole scalp from occiput up towards the ears, up to the top of the skull and towards your hairline. You can continue exploring your hairline, or you can gently tug locks of your hair outwards if that feels good for you. Breathing here and taking a moment to notice if any internal shifts have begun to take place, if your self-exploration has allowed your body to begin to relax. We'll take one hand just underneath the collarbone, circling and pressing into the 2 points just below the bulge of where your collarbones meet. These points are directly over your thymus gland, part of the area of your body responsible for creating immune cells, and also very calming for the nervous system. We'll use our fingertips to tap on these points, down the sternum and outwards towards the shoulders, exploring. Tapping in this way supports rapid blood flow and circulation to your thymus gland, pumping blood in and out of the tissues of your immune-supporting glands, just in front of your lungs. If you like, adding vocalization increases vibration, good for stimulating the lungs. We'll breathe here a moment as you explore this area of your body. Also allowing the body to eject any phlegm or fluids that might come up as a result of stimulating your lung tissue, as it's often possible to release stagnation in the lungs by doing this kind of tapping. Releasing the tapping, we'll find the next points, following the collarbones towards the outer edges of the chest where they meet your shoulder muscles, and sinking into your lung point with your thumbs and breathing. This is the first point of your lung meridian, according to Chinese medicine. While you're here, we'll take a few deep breaths, relaxing. Next, we'll take our elbows outward, forming a T and opening our hands directly out. At whatever angle keeps your shoulders and neck relaxed. Stretch outward with the fingertips, activating all the connective tissue in the upper body and gently rotating the hands back and forth, feeling into your fingertips as best you can, incorporating movement or different angles to open up across the chest and the collarbones. And we breathe here, while doing your best to maintain an upright spine. Rest the arms to the ground, planting the left palm on the ground and raising the right hand up overhead, still activating through the fingertips and opening up through the side ribs. Breathing here for a moment. Go ahead and begin to take wide arm circles, as wide as feels comfortable for you. Opening up through the shoulder and across the chest. Maybe going slow enough to match the breath with the movement. At the top of your last circle, slide that left hand just behind your backside, engaging the core and straightening the spine, and taking your right hand across to your left knee in a gentle twist. Breathing and taking the gaze over the left shoulder if it's comfortable. And we breathe here. Release the arms up to the sky, and this time plant your right palm to the ground, activating your left fingertips as you reach up, creating space in the side ribs by stretching the connective tissue. Begin to take those wide arm circles again, opening up through the chest, staying active through the fingertips and grounded in the core. Using your breath to match the rhythm of your movement. Finishing at the top of your circle, take your right hand just behind your backside, engaging the core and straightening the spine, taking the left hand over to the right knee, staying engaged in the core to gently twist to the right, breathing and taking the gaze over your right shoulder if it feels good. And we breathe in this twist. If you haven't already uncrossed your legs and recrossed or found another comfortable seat by now, go ahead and change it up. We'll reach the hands up alongside the ears in a gentle U if that's better for your shoulders and neck. Take an inhale using the breath as movement, and exhale, pulling the arms, exhaling into cactus arms. Then inhaling up towards the sky, expanding through the rib cage, and exhaling into cactus arms, closing the ribs like an umbrella. We'll repeat this 5 more times. Inhaling, opening upward. Exhaling, closing downward. Inhaling, opening up. Exhaling, closing down. Inhaling and opening. Exhaling and closing, going at your own pace. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Inhaling and exhaling. And releasing, taking the hands to the shoulders and coming into a Kundalini breathwork exercise. Inhaling to the right, exhaling to the left, quickly back and forth. This is not advisable for pregnant women or folks with high blood pressure, but it can be excellent for opening up the spine and chest and increases oxygen flow to the brain. Inhaling back and forth. If you find yourself getting dizzy, feel free to rest at any point. Continue this breath work for a little while. Slowing down and releasing to ground down into the changes this breathwork may have brought into your body and mind. Make your way to all fours, shoulders above hands, hips above knees, with extra padding under the knees if necessary. Exhaling, arch the spine up towards the sky, tucking the tailbone, chin to chest. And then inhale, dropping the belly to the earth, tailbone and gaze extending upward. Exhale, matching the breath to the movement into cat arching up, tucking the tailbone and chin. Inhale, belly down, tailbone and chin up. Exhaling into arched inward cat. Inhaling into open cow. 3 more times. Exhaling, arching up. Inhaling, belly open at your own pace. Exhaling up. Inhaling down. Exhaling up. And inhaling down. And release into tabletop. We'll make a diamond with hands centered under the chest, planting the right hand and opening the left arm out towards the sky as far as feels comfortable. Exhale that hand back down to ground to plant and switch. Inhaling and opening the right arm towards the sky. Exhaling down, breath with movement, switching and inhaling open towards the left. And exhaling down, inhaling to the right. Exhaling down at your own pace. Inhaling open to the left. Exhale down. Inhale open to the right. Exhaling down. Once more to each side. Inhaling open to the left. Exhaling down. Inhaling open to the right. And exhaling down. We'll release into child's pose, whatever version or support is most comfortable, to release the shoulders and upper back for a moment. And we breathe here. Plant the forearms, engage the hands, tuck the toes, and reach the hips up into a dolphin pose. With knees generously bent, straightening if it's comfortable, and walking the legs out. If it's good for the wrist, you can press into the hands, lifting the elbows off the ground and into down dog, allowing your head to hang heavy. You'll then shift your weight forward into plank, chest over hands with knees up or down. Exhale and release toward the ground, chaturanga. Inhaling and engaging the low back and glutes, you can take baby cobra, or you can press into full upward dog if that's in your practice. Exhaling, tuck back into child's pose. Inhale into dolphin or down dog. Exhale forward into plank or knees on ground. Releasing down to the ground, exhaling chaturanga. This time, placing the elbows alongside the chest. Stay in a low cobra with core and glutes engaged, taking the gaze side to side if comfortable. And if you want to go a little bit deeper, scoot the elbows directly beneath the shoulders into Sphinx pose, engaging the core and glutes, taking the gaze over each shoulder, and breathing. Release and push the hands into the earth, back into dolphin or down dog, and then find your way into a forward fold by deeply bending the knees and walking the hands back towards the feet. Once there, you'll begin to unroll the spine from the base like a fern, letting the shoulders and head come up last. Take the hands behind you, clasping the palms, or use a strap if your hands don't reach all the way or if it's uncomfortable for your shoulders. Then bending at the hips will tilt forward, bending the knees if needed. And if it's right for your shoulders, you can go a little further by stretching your clasped hands up towards the sky. And we breathe here in this chest opening posture. Release your hands back down to ground, and we'll move a little bit quicker walking the hands out to down dog. Breathing here for a moment before we shift forward into plank, exhaling and releasing down chaturanga. Inhaling, press into baby cobra or up dog. Pressing back into down dog and walking the hands back to the feet. Unfolding into standing and repeating. Clasp the hands behind your back, tilt forward from the hips, raising the clasped hands overhead if possible and comfortable. Release hands to ground and walk your hands out to down dog. Exhaling forward into plank and down into chaturanga. Inhaling and pressing up in baby cobra or up dog. Pressing into down dog. Walking the hands back towards the feet and rising up into standing. Last time, clasping the hands behind your back. Tilt forward, raising the hands overhead if comfortable. Releasing the hands to ground, walking out into down dog. Shift forward into plank. Exhaling in chaturanga. Inhaling, pressing into baby cobra or up dog. And finally, pressing back into child's pose for a moment, where we can breathe and take note of any of the changes happening as we went through this slightly more vigorous set of postures. We'll make our way into a low squat, with heels up or down, whatever is comfortable. We'll take the hands to prayer at center, pushing the knees away with the elbows, and then reaching the fingers out in either direction towards the edges of your mat. Plant the left hand to ground, and inhaling, raise the right arm overhead as far as comfortable. And release back down to ground on the exhale. Lift the left arm overhead, opening the chest and ribs. Exhaling, back down. Once more to each side, inhaling the right arm up and open. Exhaling down, inhaling the left arm open. And exhaling down. Press the hands into the ground and have a block or bolster ready to place beneath the hands. And reach the hips up towards the sky, opening your stance and turning the feet inward to keep the knees safe, wide-legged forward fold. And we breathe here, letting your arms and your head dangle, or if you have a bolster underneath your arms, placing your elbows on the bolster for support. Keeping the hips square to the ground and stable as possible, walk the fingers over to the right leg, holding at the thigh, calf, or ankle, depending on what feels good for you. Breathing open the left side body here. Release to center and walk your hands to the left thigh, calf, or ankle, breathing open through the right side body. Maybe with the use of a prop for support, we'll release to center, planting the hands directly underneath the chest, and inhaling, opening the left arm outward and towards the sky, noticing if this movement is becoming easier with repetition, exhaling down and inhaling open to the right. Staying mindful of your hips as we twist. Exhale your right arm down. We'll repeat 3 more times. Left arm up. Exhale down. Inhale, right arm up. And exhale down. Inhale, left arm up at your own pace. Exhale down. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale down. One more time, inhaling the left arm up to sky. Exhale down. Inhale the right arm up. And exhale down. Go ahead and make your way to the floor into a seated position to take in the movements that we've just been doing. And then you'll make your way to the ground, seated on the ground with legs bent and feet on the floor in front of you. And take your hands to grasp just below the knee. Inhaling, pull the chest forward and open the knees outward to turn the gaze upward. Exhaling, press the spine back, close the knees, chin to chest. Moving with the breath. Inhaling forward, arching open. Exhale back, tucking in. We'll take this 4 more times. Inhaling forward, arching open. Moving slowly. Exhaling back, tucking in. Inhaling forward, arching open. Exhaling back, tucking in, slowing the movement and the breath. Inhaling forward, arching open. Exhaling back, tucking in. One last time, inhaling forward, arching open. Exhaling back, tucking in. In the last opening, prepare to come onto your back with the exhale, laying down and taking your feet up to sky. Knees bent, or clasping the backs of the legs if that feels better. This gentle inversion encourages blood flow to your heart and brain. And we breathe here. Keeping blankets or other props at the ready, we'll open our arms out to T, allowing our arms to support us in this inversion. Maybe taking a couple of small movements with the ankles as your feet are up in the air. Go ahead and bend your knees and scooch your hips over to the right, letting the knees fall towards the left, supported by props if needed. Relaxing into this twist, take your gaze over to the right if that feels good for your neck. And we'll breathe here. To come out, take the gaze back to center. Engage the core to pull the knees back to center. And scooch twice to the right, preparing to drop the knees to the right, maybe with the support of props if needed. Take the gaze to the left if available, and we'll breathe here. Unwinding, take the gaze back to center. Engage the core to pull the knees back to center and scoot the hips back to the center. Knees to chest. And wrap your arms around to give yourself one big squeeze, so tight, engaging everything in the body, squeezing, squeezing, squeezing. Until we finally release open into final relaxation. Get comfortable with any last adjustments. Spend time integrating this practice into your body and feel your body sink into the earth. Notice the sounds and smells around you. Notice the feeling of your skin against your clothes and of your skin against the air. And we breathe. Beginning to come back with a few gentle movements, maybe wiggling the toes and the fingers. We'll bring the hands to the stomach and to the heart, breathing here for a moment longer, feeling the slow, steady rise and fall of the breath. Go ahead and roll over to one side, making a pillow of your arm or a blanket. Eventually pushing up into a seated pose. Return to where we started this flow, one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart. Feeling the rise and the fall of your breath. Take a moment to thank your body for all the work that you've done today. Thank you for showing up to care for your body. Be well and take care.